UNCG is so diverse, bro. Like, it is so diverse. Like, and not only with, like, how people look. Like, you'll figure out where people from. Like, there's people from, like, New Bern and Mount Airy and, like, places you ain't never heard of. Those are try to people, like, we try to connect with. Like, so a lot of the social, like, we do push for a lot of voting. Like, you know, we just had a good election turnout, so we try to do that. We partner with American Red Cross. We do blood drives. We host 4 blood drives every year. Those are pretty much our consistent. On campus, a lot of the orgs we consistently work with, like Black Student Union, they always reaching out to us. We work with FSO, we work with OIE, HRL, a lot of the departments, but it's kind of hard for us to reach out. So that's why we really want people to come to us. Like, we'll support any type of funding, any type of projects. Like, you know, we do, like, sustainability efforts. We work with the Green Fund and Green Council all the time. So it's like we just want, like, a holistic approach at UNCG to showcase that.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Quest of the Future Messiahs. I know it has been a minute since we had this room, but finally we have this room again for the rest of the semester. So we kind of want to introduce a big person that is like part of a great organization. So please introduce yourself.
I appreciate y'all, first of all, for having me up here. My name is Hazael Mengesha. Everyone calls me Haz. I serve as a student body president here on campus through our Student Government Association. I'm also a brother of the Pi Zeta chapter, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated here on campus. So appreciate y'all for having me.
So what made you want to join the Student Government Association?
I'm not gonna lie. So, like, it's kind of weird because I major in kinesiology.
Yeah.
And I double minor in biochem. I'm on a, like, health admin track. I got into student gov because of a friend I knew in high school. It's kind of a wild story. Like, I came during, like, SOAR when I was a freshman back in, like, 2019. They had, like, those expos for student groups, and he was actually representing a student group called Spartan Men's Initiative, which used to be this, like Brothers Doing Positive, similar to that. He was in that, and then once I got closer to him, in that way, he was like, yo, we got SJ. I was like, bro, I don't do politics. Like, I was like,
fuck the politics.
I was like, I don't do that. Like, but he was like, nah, we have a diversity, equity, inclusion committee. So I'm really for equity, like, when I was in high school.
And what is equity? Like, what does that mean to you?
So, like, you hear, like, equality and equity. So equity is making sure, like, everything is fair in each person's circumstance. You feel me? So, like, it might not be level, but, like, your need might be different from someone else. So just make sure everyone is...
You have the same equal opportunity of getting that need.
Depending on how your situation is. So, like, when I was in high school, so I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, I didn't do nothing in high school. Like, I wasn't involved. And then when I got here, I was like, all right, I'm going to make a change. And then I got through equity. I became a senator. My sophomore year, it was COVID. It was virtual. And then I had the opportunity to run as VP. And then, unfortunately, the president at the time, he had a lot of stuff going on. So he had a job. Unfortunately, that was my good friend of mine. And then I assumed the president position last year. So this is my second year doing it.
So I actually wanted to touch base on, like, diversity. So, you know, like, UNCG is like a PDI or...
Yeah, PWI. Yeah.
Yep, at that point. So do you think that, like, for most PWIs, do they, like, grab, you know, minorities sometimes as, like, a token? Do you, like, sometimes feel that way as, like, a token character for, like, a poster child or something like that?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I have had those thoughts, especially last year with me, like, coming in. They would, like, ask me to do a lot of interviews and ask me to do a lot of news articles and take pictures and stuff. But it was just, I think UNCG is unique because I came here on a scholarship, like, because of, like, where I'm from. I'm from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think they really, UNCG, I can't speak for other schools, but they really try to help because, like, we're number one in social mobility, which is, like, social mobility is taking someone's ranking and having them higher. So taking our, like, lower income, vulnerable students and putting them in positions where they have power. So I feel like if we didn't put our people in those positions, then we could say it's a token. But at the end of the day, they're helping, you know, our people out. So.
Facts. Do you think you can connect that with affirmative action too?
Yes. I mean, you can, in a sense, but, like, you know, the thing about policies that you're going to have to learn is all, like, environmentally based. Like, it's all different based on who you're talking to, what conversations you're having, right? So it's like the affirmative action might be looking different, like, in Greensboro compared to Raleigh based off the opportunities and stuff in the same way with UNCG.
I like that.
Other schools, for sure.
So, you know, as a president, what do you promote in your association? Like, what do you try to promote and try to get people to become more interested in you guys?
For sure. So we were really, like a lot of other student groups, we was hit with COVID.
Yeah.
It really took a toll on our numbers of like members and stuff. So last year, what we tried to do with marketing, like really market what SGA was and rebrand it. Like I said, like my mentality, I was like, I know I don't do politics, right? So I rebranded SGA to saying we don't do politics, we advocate. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's different. Everyone want to advocate. Everyone want to fight for the person next to them. So that's how we rebranded SGA to be like, we're an advocacy body. So like last year was all about, we want people to be comfortable, transparency and comfortability. So like I tell people, like when I was campaigning, I'm Haz that you see at Kaplan hooping. I'm Haz you see in the classroom. I'm not student body president. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, like they take positions and they make it more than who they actually are. Like I'm still the person I was before the position. And that's how every member of SGA goes about, you know, within them. We're all the same. We just have the resources to connect y'all with who y'all need to connect to. That's like what SGA is for real.
And I like how also, like, you try to remove the word politics away from your association. And I think that's really important because as soon as you said, you know, again, when we think about government, we think about politics. Yeah. So I do like how you're trying to change that narrative of you could play a role, but it doesn't always have to be in the political field.
For sure.
And I think that's really important. That's what makes people feel more belonged and more relatable.
Sure.
It's not just, okay, if you're not a politician, you have no role here. No, it's you could do a lot more than just become a politician, you know?
No cap. And you know what's the craziest part about that is I felt that, like, sense, like, I didn't want people to be excluded, like, because, I can't be an SGA because I'm not a poli-sci major or I don't have interest in that. So we actually have a PR team in SGA that it was brand new, we created last year. Last year had 3 members. Now we have 12 to 15 members that strictly focus. They don't even, like, none of the business pertains to them. They help us market. They do, like, we have graphic designers, website designers, photographers, and all that, giving them, like you said, the opportunity to be a part of the association in an area that they probably never seen themselves in.
So what do you say to those that may feel like they disagree with your association? Like, what can you say to those that may still not be interested?
For HGA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you gon' the beauty of SGA is we love peaceful rebuttal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, having those conversations of, you know, we call it civil discourse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, having those type of conversations, sit here and disagree on this, but talk about it. That's what SGA is, you know, advocating, because if we all thinking the same, it's not really a lot of stuff that you're not going to see different viewpoints. So it's like, I'm not going to say there's no way you can not agree with SGA. You might not agree with the way some people are leading. Like, there might be people that don't like the way I lead SGA, which is totally fine. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just like there's always a role for them to come in, and we have student forum every Tuesday at 7. Any student can come to SGA meeting and voice any type of concern, and we allow that opportunity. So it's like, it actually makes me feel good if people have some type of, like, you know what I'm saying? That means they're paying attention. Because if no one is not saying nothing about you, that means you're not really making any motion on campus.
So when you guys end up graduating and passing on the torch, when you guys are recruiting for new members to come in, what are you, like, actually looking for who wants to, like, join SGA?
So we actually, I'm glad you said it. So next week, we actually have an SGA week the whole week. So we're having a week of events, and our elections are actually opening up now. So we just have basic requirements as in, like, GPA. So it used to be, like, for exec, like, president stuff, GPA was 3.25, something like that. It was 3.0. We lowered it to 2.75 to make it inclusive. Yeah, because it can be hard. You never know. You get one bad semester, and then now you can't be in a position. You can't advocate because you had one bad semester. I don't think that's equitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it used to be 2.75 to get in. We changed it to 2.5. So it's just GPA requirement. And then if you're passionate, we just want people who are going to come in and actually say what they're going to do. Like, whatever that is, in their own capacity, in their own role. We just want people that's going to come and work. Show up, show out, you know, just help actually make and advocate for the students and reach out.
So I like how you said that because, you know, like when you're applying to colleges, sometimes they look for GPAs or like your grades or experience. I like how Chapel Hill, they do their recruiting for like freshmen to come in, because what they do is they actually look more at the essays or like the prompts that you do, because it shines more of like your personality and who you are as an individual. versus like what it says on paper.
Paper.
Yeah, because you can be a great student, but like if you don't have like nothing to show for it or like any personality, then it's like
that's where
cool.
these come in, the interviews.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's why like
the resume gets you in the door,
The
but the
paper
interview is just like, all right, what you got?
But that's actually good because, you know, it's nice that you mentioned that because in SGA and I feel like any capacity, any area, you need people who can be able to work with other people and have opinions and be able to just, you know, talk without burning the whole thing down. You get what I'm saying? So it's like having those personalities, like making sure we just have people that are vibing for real. Like you can, like you said, you could pass the paper, but like in person, like how are you interacting with people that you might not interact with on a daily basis? That's what SGA is.
Definitely.
So with that organization that you have, the association, and I was looking through your page, and you support a lot of different causes.
For sure.
So what are the main causes do you support? Like, what are some examples of social organizations that you support and you help out?
Okay. So I can speak. So there's a difference between, and this is how it goes for everyone within our association. There's like causes that you might support individually, and there's causes that you support as SGA as a whole. As SGA as a whole, we are a non-biased organization that supports any student on campus with a cause. Whatever that is, as long as you know what I'm saying, like you're under university guidelines, we'll advocate for you. And it might not seem like that, like to some people it might seem like SGA might cater to this type of people or this type of people, but it's more of the opportunities that we've had to interact with those type of people.
Yeah.
Like we want to be able to interact with, like, UNCG is so diverse, bro. Like it is so diverse. Like, and not only with like how people look, like you'll figure out where people from. Like there's people from like New Bern and Mount Airy and like places you ain't never heard of. Those are try to people like we try to connect with. Like so a lot of the social, like we do push for a lot of voting. Like, you know, we just had a good election turnout, so we try to do that. We partner with American Red Cross. We do blood drives. We host 4 blood drives every year. Those are pretty much our consistent. On campus, a lot of the orgs we consistently work with, like Black Student Union, they always reaching out to us. We work with FSO, we work with OIE, HRL, a lot of the departments, but it's kind of hard for us to reach out. So that's why we really want people to come to us. Like, we'll support any type of funding, any type of projects. Like, you know, we do like sustainability efforts. We work with the Green Fund and Green Council all the time. So it's like we just want like a holistic approach at UNCG to showcase all of that.
Wow, that's
great.
That's a lot. You know,
it's
and it's
lot,
very
bro.
diverse too.
It is, bro. It is. Like you gotta unpack. It's a lot to unpack, and I'm actually like just grateful that I had this second year.
Yeah.
Because, bro, like I don't know how other people do it. Like I have the opportunities to talk with other presidents. It's like 17. We're like under ASG's, Association of Student Governments. So like a lot of presidents, they only get 1 year, bro. It's impossible to do the things you want to do in 1 year because you got to learn the ins and outs like of how to do it. So having this second year, I've been allowed to sit back and reflect. Like, damn, this is how all of this unpacks, and it's like a beauty. It's like a full circle for real, just looking at it.
Were you supposed to graduate in 22?
No, I graduate. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. I graduate in May. I'm on track.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but yeah, for
Yes,
sure,
sir.
for sure, we out here.
Yes, sir, we out here.
Yeah, for sure. But like when I came in as vice president, like I said, my president at the time, he had a lot of stuff going on outside that, you know, he had attention to. So I had to step in and fill the president role, which was not the plan. I swear, like they told me I was about to be president. I said, bro, what? Like, what you mean? Like I just knew what vice president just runs Senate. They run the meetings, but pres is like, bro, it's different. Like you're in a room with a lot of people that sometimes you feel like you're not supposed to be in that room. Just being like a young black person, like I come in there, I got locks, bro. Like I come in there, I got earrings, I got, you know what I'm saying? But that's authentic. You know what I'm saying? So last year, it was hard to transition to that because you'll come into a space where they never seen a president like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about, like I serve on a board of trustees, so that's like the governing board, and a lot of those people they probably never seen that, but they welcome me with open arms, bro. Like I wish our students had the opportunity to interact with the trustees. There's a lot of people, like older people that are just in tune with the community, but at first, you know, they're shocked. They're like, bro, who's this? You know, this young cat for real. I'm coming there, but I'm posed. I ask the right questions. I listen. And then when they had the personal stuff you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, knowing who I am, they're like, yeah, this is like, we want more students like this. We want the real UNCG students, like, showing who they are. We don't want people coming in, like, thinking that they best, coming like all suit and tie, polished, like, because when you go home, that's not how you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be yourself in every space, and that's how you get a lot of things solved, because you're gonna be more comfortable. Like, if I'm tensed up with Chancellor, how he gonna be real with me and tell me what's really going on?
Shout out Chancellor. He's a cool
Chancellor
guy.
good. No, for real.
I haven't met him yet.
Bro,
I'm trying to get him on here.
I'm gonna get you right here.
That's
Right.
a cool dude.
No, that's a cool dude for real.
So, with you being president, like, how do you balance like being president and like
All that stuff.
like work, you know what I'm saying, social life, all that?
Support. You need a lot of support. Like I said, the second year, man, this is like real wisdom from the second year. First year, I try to do a lot of things dolo, like, just because I knew I can do it, but then you get burnt out.
Yeah.
You gotta have a support system so you can delegate tasks and have people that trust you. So it might seem like a lot of work, but I have a lot of people helping me, so it allows me to focus on other things. But you gotta prioritize yourself, bro, because you're not gonna make it long, bro, if you're not making sure that you're getting enough sleep, you working out, you eating straight. Because I'm a firm believer, like you are what you eat, and like how you maintain your body is your mental health is gonna go about that. Because if like myself, like if I go 2 weeks, I'm eating junk, I'm not working out and stuff, I'm gonna be sluggish.
You start to feel less
For real,
confident,
bro.
Yeah.
For real, and it's like I can't even advocate for my students the way I'm supposed to, because I'm just worried about the wrong. I just don't feel right. So just like making sure you're right first is gonna allow everything else to flow in this path.
Dang, that's you saying a lot of deep stuff here,
Bro,
man.
the second year, bro, like it's like, you know how people be like, I wish I got a second go around at life.
Yeah.
It's like that, bro. Like, I had the opportunity to get a second round at this, so I look at it differently. I see all the mistakes. Like, I can think, like, what's today, like, March, what's today, February 22nd? I can be like, I can look back, February 22nd, 2022, what I do wrong. All right, what that's how I've been tracking myself. I'm like, all right, last year, where was I at? I'm here now in the same role, but different position. You know what I'm saying? Makes me feel better. Makes SGA feel better and everyone else.
When you got assigned to that role, did you feel like you was ready?
I'm thinking about it, so no.
Man,
at the time, I just, it was a shock, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know what president was. Like, I didn't know. It was just like, you know, you hear about it and it's like, damn, bro. Like, I really have never had, like, it's probably so many other people that's way more qualified on me on paper. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that anyone could take this role if they, like, really believed in themselves. I feel like anyone could be president. That's how I ran my first campaign. I was just like, I want people to know that if I can do it, they can do it too.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long, and I feel like I just was like, God put me in this position. I'm not finna take it for granted. You know, a lot of people don't get this opportunity, so I'm gonna work hard for it. And if you work hard, you can do it. So so now I know, like, I was ready. I didn't think I was, but I was.
So for people that may, you know, I don't know if you had people that kind of didn't agree with you being the president. I don't know if you did or not. But how do you handle? How did you handle those disagreements? Because I know you talk about, like, civil discourse. I know you talk about people disagreeing with that. But personally, how do you handle that?
Bro, you just gotta be strong in yourself and strong on what you say.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta know yourself first before another person can come and knock down that wall, like a defense that you got. So it's like, if people don't agree with me, like I said, that's good. Like, that means they're paying attention, right? And I want to hear what they disagree on, because I'm not always gonna be in the right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, and another thing is, like, your experiences guide your thoughts and your actions. I grew up in Raleigh, like south side of Raleigh. Like,
Shout out to Raleigh.
like, for real, 919. If it's like,
where in Raleigh?
I went to Enloe High School. I grew up.
Enloe?
I live off New Bern. Yeah, you already know.
Enloe's crazy.
You feel me?
See the roaches and junk?
Hey,
Oh,
come on.
nah.
He exposing.
Nah, bro. I went there to get my to take, like, the driver's test and stuff like that.
Yeah, you seen the flying roaches?
Oh man, they was walking like they knew.
You from Raleigh? You been around?
Yeah,
Where you
I
at?
went to Panther Creek.
You went to Panther Creek?
Yeah.
Word, that's what's up. I know some boys that went out there. Yeah.
The roaches, those were the students over there, man.
Hey,
It was
man,
crazy.
that's the South Side. Shout out. But yeah, that's what. So my experience is different. You know what I'm saying? Than someone who probably grew up in like Appalachian Mountains or grew up in Charlotte or something like that. So I might see things differently, and I might need another lens. So if someone disagree, I might need that other lens so I can clear mine up and be like, all right, I'll take some of what you saying, mix it with what I'm saying. Now we both have.
So, like, I was about to say, like, I know sometimes when people, like, talk about certain things or, like, they have a disagreement, but I feel like sometimes when people say stuff, they kind of, like, have you had a time to where they said something to you, you're like, that don't even make sense. Like, what made you want to say that? You know, like, you want to be understanding, but that's not even in your thinking process. So it's like, it's so hard to, like, sometimes, like, I get it, but it takes really hard to kind of get out of that space of you even thinking in that type of, realm, you know?
You know, it's like, all right, this is going to be a bad example, but it's like,
that's okay.
I don't want to say it's like talking to a kid, but it's like having to explain it in a different manner without, you know what I'm saying, what's the word, like, invalidating their thoughts or invalidating their emotions. That's how you got to go around it. If someone say something that is like, I know don't make any sense, I'm not finna be like, that don't make any sense. I'm just going to explain to them so that they realize it don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It's a ways to go about it.
And I think as a leader, you kind of have to figure out different ways of, like, talking to certain people, because I feel like being a leader is not having the knowledge of doing something. It's having the people with the knowledge to connect with each other. So I feel like it's just, like, I don't know if you watched The Wire. Have you watched The Wire?
Yeah, The Wire, yeah.
So, like, with Avon, like, people thought Avon was stupid, but if you really want to be real, he knew how to get everybody to connect with each other. Like Slim Charles or, like, what's his name? Stringer Bell. Like, Stringer Bell was a financial person, and, Slim Charles, he was the heavy muscle. So it's like, at the end of the day, I feel like you having the knowledge and know how to talk with these people is very important, because there's teachers that have all the knowledge in the world, but they don't know how to teach that to their students. Sure. So it's like, it's really great to know that you need the ability to know how to talk to these certain people, because people join a different organization for different reasons. It could be money, it could be connections, it could be just for belonging. So again, like, I feel like, when you're talking to certain people, there's just certain ways on how you can talk to them,
Is that how, I'll kind of ask y'all a question. Is that how y'all interact, like, when y'all do your interviews and your podcast? Do y'all have to, I don't want to say cater to different people, but kind of, like, you kind of did your research, like, trying to understand, like, this is how I'm going to spin this question. You might ask me the same question that this person, but you might come at a different approach.
So, honestly, it just kind of depends on, well, one, the guest. Secondly, it just depends on, like, the atmosphere of, like, where we're at right now. Like, our most popular video is with Quentin. And, sometimes we was, like, pressing him for questions, and then he might have got a little antsy. But at the end of the day, there was still that baseline of respect.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I feel like in that interview, I think that was probably one of the hardest interviews I ever had, because he was saying things that I really didn't agree with. And I feel like there was times, and there's no diss to him or anything, and there were times where, like, he was getting a little antsy, and I had to tell him hey, I know how you feel personally, but just for the viewers out there that may need to be explained, that's why I say, hey, what does this mean? What does this mean? It's not for me, because I may know it, but some viewers may not know it as well. So I'm coming with a general mindset. If you're thinking, let's think about, like, sociologists. They don't go to a very weird civilization coming in with a biased mindset. They come with a neutral mindset, because we may run like this in this area, but in a whole different area is completely different. So if you're trying to observe it, you have to come with a neutral mindset. That's how you understand more. That's why kids are intelligent. That's why kids know how to learn multiple languages by 10, because they're coming in like a sponge. There's no biases there. So, like, when you said, hey, experience and people come with experiences, but those come with biases. That's why we don't know. That's why a lot of knowledge is hard for us to get, because we got biases. You see what I'm saying? So how we run it is, it's like doing the research and really just trying to figure out what type of person they are. And also, like, and I even do it with, my podcast members, so I may talk to him differently. We have a little relationship, and I, that's what I'm saying. It's all love, you know what I mean? No, but I think and I think when my brother came here and he looked at a lot of, like, my friendships and stuff, and all my friendships are different. So I talk to him very differently, and that's how genuine friendships are made up. So let's connect that with a business mindset, to where everyone's joining in for a different reason. So you have to satisfy on why they feel like they're needed in that business. You see what I'm saying? How about you, X? What's going on, man? That's a bodyguard right here.
No, I mean.
That's a bodyguard. You see what I'm saying?
Sergeant Arms.
But you said your major is like
kinesiology, yeah. So, like, sports exercise science.
So, like, you ain't changed to, like, business or anything like that?
Yeah, so I was on a pre-PA track, PA like a physician assistant. It was like when I was in high school, I used to do sports med.
Yeah.
So I got involved with PAs, like really smooth, good work balance, all that. It was really good opportunity if people want to go that route. But then when I got tapped in with the president stuff, a lot of these people in higher positions, they're business owners. You know, you hear that nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Business owners where it's at. And that's facts, but it's how you go about being a business owner, because you can be a business owner in any capacity. So that's why I, instead of switching my major, because I wanted to graduate on time, I said, let me keep my credits and stuff now. But when I pursue my master's, I'm going to pursue in healthcare administration. So it's like still health, because I love healthcare. I love to help people. That's like serving is like my number one thing, especially with Alpha, you know, we servants involved. But now I want to spin it to make sure I'm administering the helping and the servicing, making sure, because, you know, you hear a lot like, bro, black women, like, number one to die maternal. Like, maternal rates are horrible. Like, that's the type of stuff I want to change. Like, inequities within the health services. For example, like, something that we're trying to change here is, like, if you go to a student health center, you can be seen. But if you got Medicaid, you can't be tested for free. You know what I'm saying? Medicaid don't cover no tests. And I figured that out my freshman year. I was sick. I never go to the doctor. I went to the doctor. I stayed in Wilmington. I went. It was like, yeah, they checked me out. They was like, bro, we can do some tests, but you got Medicaid. We don't take that. Like, you gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
My peoples don't got bread, so I'm like, nah. I went back, and I was, like, dying the whole week, bro, because the system, you know what I'm saying? It's not UNCG fault. It's federal stuff, but that's the type of things I'm trying to change. So I didn't want to switch to business. I just was like, this is my calling, so I'll just stay with healthcare, and then when I be an admin, hopefully I'll be a CEO, like, open up some urgent care, some clinics like that, and make sure that it's really people that's being equitable to all, making sure everyone's getting the proper care that we need, because, you know, healthcare here is, bro, that's crazy in America.
Yeah, that is.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's
What's your major?
Business.
Y'all
business.
Y'all business.
Yeah, business.
Business is smooth, bro. It's really smooth. Like, having that knowledge. Like, even SJ, like, it's really a business. Like, running SJ is a business. Running the school is a business. So it's like having that. This is a business too.
But I also think, like, for me, business is, like, coming from a genuine mindset. Like, you're supposed to satisfy the customer. A lot nowadays, it's becoming less genuine to where a lot of things are only getting in for profit. Like you said, with hospitals and stuff like that. Yeah. They're not trying to treat people. They're trying to, okay, if you give me this money, you know. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Even jails, like, that's a business. Yeah. We
crazy.
have 25% of the jail population in the world. That's crazy.
25%? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The U.S. has 25%.
Like, out of all the people in prison in the world, we have 25% of that population. That's crazy.
But, you know, it's like, we can get into that.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
It's really like a cycle of money. Like, you know, the world runs on the bread and capital. It's like, bro, like, I heard, like, you know, the prison systems, like, in some areas, they'll count how many minorities are in the zip code and already prepare cells for them in the local prison. Like, just based off anticipation. Like, all right, we got this many woody woods. All right, we're going to anticipate this many to be in jail. Because the same people that provide food for the education system is the same ones that provide food for the prison systems. Yeah. In some areas. Because some prisons are privately owned. Yeah. So, like, all that, bro, all that is wicked, bro. But, like, I don't know how y'all feel, but, like, I really believe in the Bible, bro, and it say the root of all evil is money. And it's, like, how you twist it. Like, you feel me? Like, we talking about all these people we having a problem with is because they greedy, like, with money. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with money, but what money do to people, bro, like, people can't, like, cure for cancer and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of pharmaceutical stuff, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, like, inequities that's coming is because people pocket hungry, like you're saying. Yeah.
And I feel like it's just, I really want to be the soul of, like, business. That's why I want to do HR.
HR.
And I feel like, you know, when you're doing HR and stuff, like, it's very important. You know what I mean? Like especially, like, in Italian mafias, there's this thing called, I don't know, it starts with an S. It's like singularly or something like that. Is where, like, they come talk to them, and it's like they're like the HR of that because they keep people like sane, like, and shit like that. Yeah. So I want to do that within, like, the business type area, to where, like, they can talk to me, they can feel comfortable and things like that. So I feel like, you know, that's really important, because I think you're starting to lose the soul of why businesses are created, if you get what I'm saying. Like, if y'all agree with me, I don't know.
No, yeah, I do. So I went for marketing, and like honestly, I just love the aspect of marketing because like it can connect people. You can express your creativity. I'm also a numbers guy, so I just love how like things connect into the algorithm and how you can like connect with so many people around the world instantaneously through advertising. So.
Do you ever think about how crazy it is? Like, you can connect with someone across the globe and like it's changed. Like I be thinking about like, bro, like when my dad was growing up, bro, like just like the things like sports and stuff like that, bro. We hearing stuff so quick. Like I feel like it does things to our generation. Like it's really good, and it's like something negative.
Instant
like,
gratification.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Instant gratification.
Or even just like taking it further back, like if you had to like write a message to somebody, it would take a week, 2 weeks to like just send it back.
That would take a
month.
month.
You can just send a text message just
Might
like
get
that.
lost, bro. Bro, lose
Facts.
the paper, it's gone.
Exactly.
The message ain't even delivered.
about
You
trying
can't
to,
even
like-
check delivery.
Think about like trying to spit game.
That's
Like,
what I'm
let's say-
saying.
in, like,
Hey, baby, I
first
love you. You see what I'm saying? A month later, she with a whole nother guy.
You be like, you ain't get my letter? She come on, what later?
I said, what you talking about? What are you doing?
Whole time, bro threw your letter
Yeah.
away.
That's crazy,
That's
bro.
like- that's a different definition of get a ghosting.
That's
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying. Like, threw it out. Like, that's wild.
Dang.
That's crazy.
I hate when people be like, I wish I lived in this time period. I'm like, are you sure about that?
Nah,
You
you
sure?
in the right, bro. I feel like everybody in the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You in the right time because you don't know how you gonna act back then, bro.
I think as of right now, like this is the perfect opportunity for anyone to like be successful,
Yeah.
regardless
Mhm.
of like background.
Yeah,
You know,
you gotta seize the opportunity.
exactly.
For sure.
Like it's right there. You just gotta go get it. A lot of people just don't realize it, or they just like get
They
in
don't
the
have that
victim mindset.
information to do it. You know what I mean?
What drives y'all? Like, what drives you to go get it?
So I'll add this. Like my dad, he is like a trucker, so he came from humble beginnings. So and so does my mom too. Like they both like strive to just rise themselves out of like the current situation that they were in, regardless of the excuse. They had every single excuse in the book to just say like, hey, you know what, I can't do this, the system, blah blah blah. But they all beat the odds and ended up being successful. Why can't that be me?
Facts.
I feel like for me is like I come from I have family in Raleigh, but I'm from New York.
Go.
So like I'm from upstate New York, PK. You know, put on PK.
What's that?
Poughkeepsie. What is that? Poughkeepsie, not
What's a PK?
Poughkeepsie.
Oh, no.
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie.
So
I
pretty
can't
much.
go back to PK.
Yeah, he can't. You're not
Bro.
allowed. No,
Not
I'm just-
allowed.
I was
You
just
got
joking.
warrants out here.
Nah, like so pretty much I'm from there to where I didn't know, like, you know, my mom, she was a server engineer. She was a single mother, you know, so again, like she really had to fight and know people. That's why it's so valuable. That's how I met you. That's how I met them. It's valuable to know people because my godmother, she got put onto a job with Truist. It was BB&T before, but now Truist. So my mom was like, okay, let me get with you. Bam. Came to North Carolina, and like I was kind of ungrateful at first because like, you know, I was used to the small town, not really seeing anybody. But then I just saw how, like, I was like, wow, like we really, when I run out, I get to run at night without having to worry about nothing because the kids I grew up with, now they all going to jail. I could have been those same kids in jail. I could have been the kid that got shot.
For real.
You see what I'm saying? So I kind of think about, like, we really came from the struggle emotionally. You get what I mean? Where people don't have father figures. People don't, and that's why I like what you're doing because you're being a good role model to people that may not feel like
Appreciate that.
the government is good, but you're like, hey, you could still have a role here.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I think it's really good to be that type of role model. You don't gotta be a gangster. You don't gotta be
For real.
in the streets.
For real.
So that's something that, you know, I had to really realize, like, yo, like, I can go out to a party without thinking about nothing. You see what I'm saying? I don't gotta worry about a kid with a gun. I don't gotta worry about none of that. But when I talk to my friends back in Poughkeepsie, hey, bro, this dude got this girl pregnant. Oh, this dude got killed. My cousin just went to jail. He just came out. You know, so it's really sad when you get to see. That's my motivation.
Facts.
And that's really for anybody. Like, you know, again, I was like, yo, this podcast, this is going to make it through.
Yeah.
Hey, put this on your resume.
For real.
Like,
For real.
at the end of
It's
the day, it's
hard,
like,
bro.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like that, I think for me, like just seeing what my mom had to go through and just seeing, you know, and I have a twin brother, so he kind of, you know, we kind of had to, you know, go through it together. So I think our motivation is just seeing what we left behind. You see what I'm saying? Knowing that we didn't leave that behind for nothing. That was my motivation.
For sure.
How about you, X?
For sure, great.
My motivation
Shout out to
really,
X.
my mom, whatever. She pretty much raised me and my siblings like by herself, whatever. So, I mean, my dad was in the picture, but not really. But she had like stopped going to college for us or whatever, and then she had to go back again, get her bachelor's at like 27. Then she went to Liberty, got her master's or whatever, and now she's like in high positions at her job and stuff like that. So that like really motivates me, and I feel like, me personally, I feel like I have that desire to want to give back to her. So like that's what motivates me.
Man, shout out to black women, man. Y'all
That's
talking
what I'm
about
saying. The black queens out there,
They
man.
going hard, bro.
Facts.
What about you, man?
Yeah.
Same.
That was a good
It's
question.
kind of the same thing like you. So like, my parents, I immigrated from Ethiopia with my parents, and my dad, he used to drive a taxi for the airport. Now he a bus driver. My mama is like a CNA, like she take care of old people like in their crib and stuff. My parents be like, bro. When I was a kid, like when I actually have a bedtime, like I sleep at 8:30 and I wake up to school like 9. I wouldn't see my dad the whole week because he'll go into work 4 in the morning. He'll come back 11 p.m.
Dang.
I'm asleep. I don't see my dad. He's there, but I don't see him because of how much he working to provide. Like my dad will always say like my parents came from Ethiopia, bro. Like I don't know how to explain. Like they never wanted me and my brother to have the same life as them. So he was like, I don't care if I work 60 hours a week. Like that's how my dad was. And I'm like, dang. The same thing, like there's no excuse. He could have chilled like for himself. Like you know what I'm saying? My mama the same thing. My mama like overworked herself. Like, bro, my mama had to like broke her back literally working. Couldn't work for 3 years because she had back surgery. Like it's like OD stuff. Like we was off, bro. It's crazy. Like and it's like it became to the point like since my parents are immigrants, I'm the oldest. I had to help them. Bro, I swear to God, like I don't even say this, but for real, like when I was like 6 and 7, bro, I used to be the one like. We go to like a vacation, I'm the one booking the hotels. Cause my parents can't.
At 7?
I swear to God.
Dang.
Because my parents don't know the system. Like you feel me? They telling me, all right, we finna go here. They telling me the basics. But I gotta sit there, like back in the day before we had GPS, I had to print out the map.
Yeah,
the map write it down. You feel me? So it's like, but that's crazy. That taught me like my parents put me in a position like, bro, there's no excuse. There's no excuses. Like there's always there might be a reason for why things might happen to you. Like you might say, okay, this didn't work out because of this, but there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to. The same thing. Like my parents can do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it too, and I want to give back and make sure that they get that delayed gratification.
Yeah.
They work, and then when I'm out of here, I'm gonna put them like with their feet up, like getting inside. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I really relate to that too, cause like I didn't realize like how crazy my parents worked until like I got older, and then they started telling me stuff, because like my dad's a trucker, and like sometimes I wouldn't see him on like one weekend for like 2 weeks or so. So then he would come home and like say what's up, and then leave, they'll start work again. And then my mom, she would also do like overtime, have to pick me up, go make breakfast, get situated with my brother, same thing with my sister at the time too. And then I don't know, it was just like a lot of like, think about this. You wake up early to wake up your kid, go to work, have them stay in after school, come back to pick them up after like 6 or 7, have them make dinner too, and then do it all over again.
And you ain't even say, that's what she doing for y'all. What about her?
That's what I'm saying.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's so crazy, bro.
I remember like I had this conversation like, and I feel like when you're working so much, there's a lot of emotional things that are kind of like missing. You know what I mean? Like there's like, dang, like where was that nurture? Where was that? And like I remember I had that conversation with my mom, and she was like, I loved you enough. Because my mom was doing everything, like server engineer, and then at night, because like me and my brother, when she go, I used to like play the video games. I used to sneak and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout my mom. But like, she used to have to do the CNN thing. She has to watch, the mentally disabled people and clean their diapers and stuff like that. She used to bring them to my brother's basketball games and stuff.
Exactly.
And I was like, Mom, like, where is that? Because again, there's when you have that type of dynamic, there's things lacking. You see what I'm saying? So like, she was like, I loved you enough. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, I loved you enough, meaning that she did everything else, and that's enough. You start to appreciate a lot more. You start to look at things a lot more. I'm like, Mom, my mom did her shit. You see
No,
what I'm
for-
saying?
for-
Like,
for-
parents do their shit. You just don't know until you start to realize, start to
So
get older.
You starting to get older.
Yeah.
You start to
Yeah.
realize, like, damn, like, am I cut out for that? Like, that, I'll be thinking, like, bro, in a couple years, like, I would want to see myself being able to do the same thing. Like, hopefully, like, I'm not in that position where I have to. But
Yeah.
Like, but I was like, damn, if my dad bust 60 hours, bro, I would do the same thing for my kid, too. If that
That's a
means give him
fact.
a better opportunity. It's like,
Passing
parents,
off that legacy,
For
man,
sure.
making that kingdom, man. That's important.
Bro, for real.
That's important.
We trying to, like, the next generation got to be better, bro. We behind hella years, man. We
Facts,
behind hella
facts.
years, you know what I'm saying?
So do we guys have any other things to say?
Go ahead, ask about that fraternity.
Facts. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm
saying.
Fellow frat brother.
That's
What's
so-
good? So you are part of the Pi Zeta chapter for Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Mhm.
What made you want to join the frat in that fraternity in general?
So so being an immigrant, being from Ethiopia, never heard of fraternity and stuff like that growing up. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't exposed to that culture. My friend that I said got me into SJ, he was actually a Sigma on campus. So he exposed me to Greek life in general, right? Shout out to Edmund. He was like just showing me what it meant to be, you know, a
Wait,
member.
Phi Beta Sigma?
Phi Beta Sigma.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I see what Greek is, and then I start doing. You got to do your own research, though. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like everybody. You know, they fit in different spaces. For me, personally, with Alpha, like, bro, like, I don't know. I always see myself Alpha, like, you know what Alpha means, like Alpha male. Like, I'm president. Like, it's just what we stand for. Servants of all. First of all, we shall transcend all. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I stand for. Servants, serving our community. Like, you know, we also stand on a model of, like, respect the womanhood for all mankind. Like, no, respect the womanhood to the best of our ability. My apologies. Like, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what Alpha is.
Yep.
And then, like outside of Alpha, Pi Zeta specifically, like the chapter here, bro, like the guys that are in Pi Zeta before me, bro, they're like, I don't know how to explain. They set a good example of what it is. Like, my Dean, Najee, my IDP, Abram, and them, like, they really had a good example. Like, when they crossed in the spring. Like, they came and they really started putting things on. Like, Pi Zeta, if you go on we collaborating, we're doing a lot of events. We actually have a family feud tomorrow with BSU.
You know what's funny? I saw one of them doing that in one of my classes. He's in my business finance class.
Yeah, shout out. It's probably Abe. That's my
He was
boy.
like doing that. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Bro, yeah, we working
Yeah,
24/7, boy. We
yeah.
working. That's what Alphas do. We always
Shout out
working.
to him though. That
For
shit was
sure.
fire.
For real. So it's like we got that tomorrow. So it's like seeing them put in the work and being president. The other thing about being president, I get a different lens of what student groups are doing. So when I was president, I'm seeing what like you can say fraternities are doing. Who's actually putting in the work. It's different from social media. You know what I'm saying? You can mask anything on social media.
Yep.
But like the good thing about UNCG, all of our fraternities, they do stuff, but like to me what stood out was Alpha. Like I vividly remember on MLK Day of Service last year, like I vividly remember seeing the Alphas. And I was like, I didn't see no one else. And I was like, okay. And then, you know what I'm saying? Did my research, and that's what I'm rocking with, bro. And the craziest thing is, like, it low-key originates from Ethiopia, but that's like on some whole
Conspiracy shit.
Nah, for real, but nah, it's hard. Shout out Alpha, bro. It's like I'm literally the best decision I ever made was joining the Pi Zeta chapter, for real. What about y'all?
So me, I am part of the Prodigal Pi chapter of Psi Sigma Phi Multicultural Fraternity Incorporated. The reason why I decided to join them is because I don't know, I just like had my eyes on them since freshman year, but I never considered myself like a frat guy, you know what I mean? So once I got in there, like it kind of just warped my whole mindset about frat life. You know, like you always got the stigmas of like y'all party, y'all do this, y'all do that, blah blah blah. But like once you finally in the inner circle, you start to realize that it's not really about that. Like they do a lot of stuff outside of frat life and also things for the community in general. Also, what really connected to me to them is that is a lot of diversity in them, like the multicultural. So just a little bit of background, like like most of my family originated from the Caribbean, so I'm Jamaican and part Cuban. So I didn't really like have much to express to that, especially on my Latin side, you know. So I would say that the frats, like I went out and like checked them out. Some people reached out to me, even the Alpha one, but I don't know. It just didn't like I just didn't feel the connection. And then when I got to PSP, then it just hit different. Like I met the guys are cool. They didn't feel like, oh, we just want new recruits or we just want this or that. It's like, we genuinely want you to do good and do better. Even through the process, it's like, hey, look, we got you, you know.
Okay, and that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, like, it resonates with you. You know if it's for you. It's going to click.
Yeah.
Like you saying, like, you shop around, you do your research, you going to know what's click. Like, you can't join a fraternity for trends, bro. Like, you gotta know what you're doing. Like, you gotta know why, and that's how you're gonna get locked in. But that's multicultural. I also, like, that's another thing about cool thing about UNCG is, like, getting exposed to that side. Like, we got so many councils. Like, it's not just like IFC and MPAC. Like, we got the multicultural. How many councils we got? 5, 4 or 5,
yeah.
5 councils on campus. So it's like it's really cool to see, to kind of destigmatize what you hear about fraternities and stuff like that. Cause I see y'all be tabling. I be seeing y'all tabling and all that stuff.
Oh, appreciate it.
For sure. You gotta show the love, bro.
That's what.
You know what I'm saying?
I be saying, you know, I feel like for me, like, I never was like, my brother's part of a fraternity. He's part of Beta Theta Pi, but he's what's it called? He went to ECU.
Okay.
So for me, is like, I don't think I ever was like a frat person. You know what I mean? I love the connections, but I feel like I would like to have my own inner circle instead of just trying to find one that's really belong. Because, like, I like to, I don't know, I'm a very, like, well-rounded person, but, like, I have my own shit. Because, like, I know, like, when you're joining a different collective, they do shit, and you're like, what? I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like when, you know, sometimes being with the collective can have some disadvantages.
I was kind of scared of that. Like, when I heard about Greek, it's like I got a lot of friends that I'm like these with. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when you're on campus, you see all the bros, like all the fat bros, are gonna be with their brothers and stuff like that. That's what you see. And it's like, bro, like, you just gotta have that group. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a group of friends that's like, that understands. Like, all my bros understands. Like, sometimes I'm gonna be with my LBs, but you know what I'm saying? The ones I grew up with, bro, that's
what I'm saying.
Never love lost, but it's hard to think like that before, because you never know what's gonna happen at the end of the day.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to determine my brotherhood as for me joining something.
Yeah,
like, if I gotta be that to be your friend, I don't want to even do that. But, like, you know, me and KJ, that's my man's.
For sure, exactly.
That's, you know, that's my
on some natural.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's natural. So it's like, I don't want you to try to prove that you're a brother.
Facts.
Let me just see it.
Facts.
If it doesn't happen, I can't get mad. I'm not expecting anything. But if it does, I'm going to appreciate it. I'm, you know, welcome. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, you know, it's so funny because, like, we have our own friend group. It's called UV. You know, UV.
Yeah.
So it's like, we like, shout out to UV. We have our own.
No,
you part of it. You live there.
You know, I'm going to put this up. Last year, we used to be called Block. Like, you ever heard of Block? That was, like, me and my friends. So we used to, like, everybody used to be like, oh, what y'all doing? We're going to Block. Everybody
you talking about Block 43?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Block. But, you know, we had to move out of there. But,
I know. It was war zone over there, dog.
But shout out UV, bro.
Fact, shout out to UV. But, like,
that's hard.
I feel like with that, you know, I think with, you know, that's, you see what I'm saying? Just, if you're trying to join, you know, buy 20 rum and cokes. You see what I'm saying? With some chicken strips. You see what I'm saying? That's how you join.
You feel like you would, cause do you feel like y'all call each other LBs? Like, how does that go? Or, like, y'all call each other brothers?
Yeah, we just call each other brothers. Okay. You know.
So, like, do you think if you had met your brothers naturally, you would have been friends with them?
You know, I always think about this. It's the crazy part.
Like, that's what I think. Like when you said that, yeah.
Honestly, like, to be honest, we would never. I don't think we ever would have crossed paths if it wasn't for PSP and, like, going through the intake process. But I think, like, in general, like, if a group of brothers or just, like, some people, like, go through the fire, y'all come out as, like, closer than ever. You know what I mean? Regardless if, like, you come from, like, one place or another, you're gay, straight, black, white, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you got that person's back, then that's all that matters. Yeah,
that's how I be thinking. I be like, cause, like, when I first met my OBs, I was like, yo, I ain't know them. So I was like, bro, what? And then, but now, bro, I swear, if I had met them, like, on some, like, just whatever, like, if it had nothing to do with Alpha, like, just, but it's like you see a different side of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I'm, like, for sure, like, thinking, like, oh, yeah, I would definitely be his friend. Like, just because I know them better. Yeah. But it's hard to say that.
Those are my boys now.
You get what I'm saying? Like, no, I'll do anything for my OBs.
But I feel like it's just, you know, like, again, like, it's just different it's just different, whatever. But I feel like when it's forced, I mean,
I get it. For
you're
sure.
gonna have to. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why it's really important about chapter, bro. That's why it's really important about chapter because like different schools, it look different. Like the same fraternity look different at different schools.
True.
Yeah.
And you can tell when it's forced or when it's like y'all vibing. Like you can tell what fraternities like. You can tell who hang around with who on some natural, not just for the letters. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like part of the frat, like we're still going to like rock with you no matter what. We even have like a group chat where it's like PSP and friends. You know?
That's hard. Yeah, we just had an intramural team. I don't want to talk about it. We lost in the playoffs. But yeah, we had an intramural team. Huh?
What team was it?
Nah,
Basketball?
bro.
Nah,
yeah,
man.
we hooping. We called it.
Yeah, trash.
Nah, we play
crazy.
Tuesday, Thursday. We was called Gorilla Boys, but we played late night. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was supposed to
He
be.
trying to skip over it.
Bro, it was bad. I ain't gonna lie. The season
Who
ended
y'all
bad.
lose to?
Bro, I cannot even say
But
it. Like,
say,
Oh,
but
wow.
no, bro, I can't. It's bad though. I'm gonna just say it was bad. Like we weren't
Mercy
supposed to
rule.
lose, bro.
Y'all got mercy rule.
No, not playoff. Oh God, we lost by 1 point, bro. We lost by 1
okay,
point.
gotcha.
But it was like we weren't supposed to lose to them, bro. But what I was saying is we have other people on our team.
Mhm.
That's one thing I want. Like that's why I like UNCG because you never know how it is at other schools. Like in the movies, frat is like these. You know what I'm saying? They don't interact with other people.
It's like Burns and Sand, like that movie.
that
You know
movie?
what I'm talking
Burns
about?
and
Oh, that
Sand.
was
Oh,
crazy.
No,
Nah.
bro.
That was
I watched
crazy.
that movie and like
Before?
I had my stigma for like frat was even higher.
I was like,
oh
no. I was thinking about Shake
I ain't gonna
My
lie,
Head.
that movie was wicked.
I don't know, man.
That's a bad movie. I ain't gonna lie. It's a good movie, but it's a
Yeah,
bad movie.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta find out for yourself, bro. But frat is like it's not for everyone, but it does its justice for everyone. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like fraternities really do a good thing for our community, but it doesn't have to require everyone to join it to be a good thing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? They
Yeah.
do that. They're doing their role in the community. Each fraternity, each sorority is doing their role.
Yeah.
To better our whole community.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Them questions hard, bro. I like the vibe, bro. I might
Appreciate
have to
it,
come
man.
right with y'all more. Invite
Come
some
on,
people
man.
for
You
real.
live in UV, bro.
I mean, yeah,
Come on,
UV
come
gang,
on.
you know what I'm saying?
All right,
For
so
sure.
where can they find you, man?
For sure. So, which camera I'm looking at? That one.
You can look that one.
Yeah, so my Instagram is haz.mengesha, haz.mengesha. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me there. You can also follow the Pi Zeta chapter Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Pi Zeta 1984. And then also shout out to SGA. Follow us. We have elections coming up at sga.uncg. All of that you can be found on my personal Instagram. But, man, shout out to y'all. I appreciate the opportunity. If y'all ever need anything, reach out, man. We're real personal over here, man. We try to be our
And what
authentic
podcast
self.
you in right now, man?
Man, we part of the I ain't gonna lie. I was about to say the whole name. I was about to say the Messiah.
Nah, just say
Quest
QFM
Messiah.
podcast.
QFM.
QFM.
Shout out to QFM. My boys from UV. Shout out to QFM. Hey, they hawked me down one day at the table and they said, we need you to do it. I ain't gonna lie. I was busy. I was BSing them, but they got me.
That's
down.
crazy.
But y'all got me here. I really appreciate it because, but I never, like, you be seeing podcasts, but being part of one is different. Y'all asking good questions. Y'all doing a good thing. I think y'all giving the opportunity for our students to voice, you know, what they, I know y'all had PSO. Y'all, like I said, y'all had Quincy. Y'all had other people. Y'all had Pi Cap up here. So it's like, having that space, bro, is really good because all you hear from students, like I hear the concerns, it's like we want a space to voice our concerns and stuff. And this is that space. So if y'all got something to say, if y'all want to come mess with my boys, man, y'all know where to find them. What's your Instagram?
You about to make me fuck up.
Oh, see, I was finna get in trouble.
It's QFM. It's QFM_podcast.
Yeah, I
Thank you
knew
so
it.
much. Thank you so much for listening and fucking viewing us. Please
For sure.
subscribe to us. And if you want to chill in the car, please look at us on Apple Podcasts. Once again, subscribe, like. Thank you so much,
Shout out
guys.
to them
We out
boys.
here.